Calandale! Welcome to episode 15 of season 3. I'm right this time. Here's the news from Worthington. They are now shipping, and it's the last chance sale for Napoleon Returns and Philadelphia 1777. This is what their shipping outlook looks like. Crusader Kingdoms ships August, September. French and Indian War shipping August and September. Chancellorsville, that was a hard one. September to October. Cowboys 2, sounds cool, that one. September to October. Dawn of Battle, October to November. And Battle of the Bulge, 1944, November to December. And coming soon on their Kickstarter, in magnificent style, by the Dream Team man, Herman Lettman himself. So, check it out, and, well, check it out. HOLLANDSPIELE and the Field of the Cloth of Gold. Designed by Tom Russell. The game plays in 20 minutes. It's a 2-player game, and solitaire suitability is low. The theme here is Renaissance, and I will quote what Dan Turot said from SpaceBiff.com. The Field of the Cloth of Gold is a remarkable caddy game. It's about the gifting of grandiose presents for diminutive effect, about small decisions that grow weighty as their true import becomes clear. It's about subtleties that are obvious and obviousnesses that are subtle. As a trifle, it conceals great depth. Or depth, not depth. Yeah. You know that review that I just read? What the heck is he talking about? And that's great. Do you know why? Because I don't know what he's talking about. Because it's there, but it's not there. It's up, but it's down at the same time as it's centered. So it makes me want to go see Compass Games and Traders of the Air. This is a steampunk trading game for 2 to 4 players based on a distant planet. And what you get with this game are 2 game boards backprinted on a single sheet, 8 guild maps, 1 steamship, 60 guild contract discs, 22 Sky Dollar cardboard coins, 78 cardboard good markers or goods marker, a bag, a cardboard compass, 2 rule books, and 1 start player marker. What? No box on the lid! No box on the lid! That's awesome!
Hello fellow gamers, this week's greatest day of history in games is July 18th, 1936, the day when a not so well known Spanish general led a military coup against the Spanish Republic, beginning one of the most violent civil wars of all history. The name of the general was Francisco Franco, and he would later become El Caudillo. The coup was actually started on the night before, July 17th, when the Spanish army garrison in occupied Morocco revolted, capturing and executing the loyalist officers. The plan called for a swift action, but the revolt did not spread immediately. Only on the 18th, the first troops on the Spanish peninsula managed to hold some regions on the mainland. However, the alzamiento, as the golpe was called, had begun. The initial optimism of the insurgents, who after all were a professional army fighting against mostly untrained and ill-equipped improvised political and local militias, was quickly faced with a long and cruel civil war, sometimes reminiscent of trench warfare of World War I and sometimes anticipating quick motorized and combined air-land offensives of World War II. The nationalist advance from Morocco to Madrid was long and very costly. The conflict soon involved foreign powers, with Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy sending troops and military support to Franco and Soviet Union backing the Republic, together with volunteers from all over the world who formed the famous international brigades. As in a deeply political war, the Spanish Civil War was horribly violent with frequent atrocities, the first civilian bombings and irregular troops pillaging and sacking the countryside. A truly modern war, with all its horrors and violence. At the end, after several years of vicious fighting, first Barcelona and Catalonia, then Madrid, and the Republican government fell, unable to resist the nationalist fury, torn apart by internal fighting and abandoned by the European democratic powers. All this has been masterfully described by writers who fought for the Republic in those days, like Ernest Hemingway with For Whom the Bell Tolls, and George Orwell with Homage to Catalonia. In historical literature, a very good and detailed description can be found in The Spanish Civil War by Anthony Beevor. Another masterful representation of this tragic conflict can be found in Crusade and Revolution by David Gomez Reyoso and published in a wonderful reprint by Compass Games, for many the reference game on the topic. Starting from a classic Paths of Glory system, this great card-driven game fully captures the military dynamics and political complexities of the war, from its first confused actions to more organized and diffuse conflict, with cards representing pivotal events and a very effective combat system focused on attrition and troop quality factors. Crusade and Revolution is a true experience, exciting and very rich of content, but not overly complex. Many consider it, in fact, a streamlined version of Paths of Glory itself. As the Republic, you will be struggling at each card to contain the enemy push and organize a counter-offensive, but you will also have to deal with faction infighting. As a nationalist, you will be hard-pressed to concentrate your forces and incoming foreign resources and finally break the tough government defensive line. Really not an easy task. So, that's it for this week. See you on the next battlefields. Ciao!
Compass Games, and can you believe it? These guys are nuts. I don't know if it's Bill or if it's John Krantz who encouraged this, but I think it's a great thing to be nuts. Because if you weren't nuts, you wouldn't get Defending America, Intercepting the America Bomber, 1947 to 1948. How can you not get this game? So here goes. Defending America is a solitaire tactical level game which places you in command of an actual or experimental interceptor aircraft during a frightening look at what might have been in World War II. Sounds like a movie. Make a movie. Make a movie. Obviously, this game is designed by Gregory M. the Animal Smith. Complexity, 4 out of 10. Solitaire suitability, 10. Time scale or weekly turns. Map scale is abstracted. Unit scale, individual aircrafts, weapon systems, specific crew members, and ammo rounds. Players, 1. There is an option for 2 or more, and playing time is 60 to 90 minutes. And what you get with this game is 1 counter sheet, 8 aircraft display mats, 9 player aids, 1 combat display mat, 1 pilot awards display mat, 1 air operations mat, rule booklet, 1 log sheet, 1 log sheet, 2 6-sided die and a 10-sided die, and a box and a lid. Tiny Battle Publishing and A Matter of Honor. The Battle of Le Bourget, a game by Jacques Rabier. A Matter of Honor is an action-packed two-player tactical board game using a simple but effective area impulse activation system. What you get with this game is one 8-page rulebook, 24 event cards, 3 double-sided player aid, one 22 by 17-inch game map, and 120 double-sided game counters.
A game for gamers, made by gamers, by Flying Pig Games.
Compass Games was live! Krantz, Bill Thomas, president and owner of Compass Games. Bonding with Board Games, the Chief was live with Robert Waters, Avalon Hill general editor and science fiction author. Also, the Chief was live discussing the General magazine from Avalon Hill. You want to know what's happening on the big board? Kevin, the big man, the CEO, has a video on new storage. Need ideas for stuff? Kevin gives it to you. Gilbert Collins is back with a sad experience with Little Bighorn from Command Perspectives. And Mauro Faina gives us 3 minutes with Panzer Grenadier from Avalanche Press. The Player's Aid Alexander unboxes Invasion from Wisdom Owl. And Grant and Alexander review Long Cruel Woman from High Flying Dice Game, a game designed by Paul Rohrbaugh. And the strong man of war games, Rob Orrin on War and Pieces, is taking a look at Traders of the Air by Compass Games. GIMPY of the Gimpy Gamer continues his Victory and Glory Boot Camp 18 and 19 featuring Retreat and Pursuit and Major Battles. And he also continues Core Space Big Game Parts 3 and 4. Mo of Mo's Game Table is taking a look at Warfighter Shadow War from DVG, a game designed by Dan Verson. This is a preview. He also gives you his initial thoughts on Brief Border Wars. And For What Remains, another DVG preview, Blood on the Rails, game by David Thompson. And Jim Okarski takes a look at the battle from Yellow from Napoleon's Art of War. And the excellent Seek Out and Play channel gives us a How to Play Sherman Leader introduction, a game designed by Dan Verson, published by DVG. And Stigler, with Stigler for Details, continues his massive undertaking of 3 Days of Gettysburg, playthrough number 10C and 10D. And Nathan the Wise Guy has a video on Mare Nostrum. This is a PC game, and also Bonaparte in Italy, 1796, introductory scenario from Nations in Arms. This is a playthrough from Compass Games.
Hey folks, it's ARDWULF. Dan Parcheesi has been kind enough to let me have a small segment of his show to talk about what has appeared on ARDWULF'S Lair in the past week. We started off on Sunday with our regular stream of the great battles of the American Civil War with Dead of Winter, our Battle of Stones River, which continued. On Monday, we resumed our Operation Attleboro campaign in a hot, dry season, forthcoming from Legion Wargames with designer Patrick Mullen. For Traveler Tuesday, we took a look at Mongoose's Traveler Companion for the Mongoose Traveler 2nd Edition game system. On Wednesday, we did a quick unboxing of 1862. This is an 18xx game, rail game from GMT Games, released a few years ago. And on Thursday, we revisited the topic of alternatives to Dungeons & Dragons and talked about a number of additional options that you have if you're looking to break away from D&D. I'd like to thank Dan Pantalone for giving me this opportunity to talk about what's happening on ARDWULF'S Lair. Please check out the channel. We have a whole bunch more content coming next week. Until next time, happy gaming. Hey folks, it's ARDWULF, Dan Pancheesi. Hey folks, it's... Okay. Hey folks, it's ARDWULF.
And Marco Omnigamer reviews Storm Over Dien Bien Phu from the Storm Over series, a game published by Multi-Man Publishing. Bare Bones Wargaming takes a look at Clash of Giants 2, Ypres and Galicia 1914, a game designed by Ted Racer, published by GM. Rough Swordsman's Wargamer continues his awesome playthrough of RAF, the Battle of Britain 1940, a game designed by John Butterfield, published by Decision Games, with STUKAJOE sequence of event cards. And Harsh Rules, breaking down board games with Ben Harshner's Nothing Like Learning to Play with Easy Rules, Part 2 scenario and setup of Fields of Despair, France 1914 to 1918. This is a game published by GMT and it's designed by Kurt Lewis Keckley. Counterproductive Games unboxes Dark Souls, the board game, and also looks at new releases from Topside Minis, new scales for their World War II ships. And Julius Fairfax takes a look at 8 games of the Spanish Civil War. And Tim of Harebrained War Games takes a look at Imperial Struggle, a game published by GMT, designed by Anara Gupta and Jason Matthews. The guys from ASL Scenario Archives, Illuminating Rounds number 24, The Hellenic Expedition. Combat Board Games has taken a look at Sniper Gamebooks by TSR. You know what? Combat Board Games and Centurion Reviews, these guys, they review way out there games, which makes their channels incredibly interesting. And Napoleon's Triumph has taken a look at Imperial Struggle, a game published by GMT. And the man famously known as Calandale Enrico Viglino continues Stellar Horizons 2100, that's the year, a game published by Compass Games. The awesome, the one and only Poindexter Games is doing B-17 Flying Fortress Leader Mission 11, A Pair of Aces, a game designed by Dean Brown, published by DVG. Check out his videos, they are awesome. Mark Walker of Flying Pig Games takes a What's in the Box Kickstarter look at La Resistance. When I was at WBC, I played La Resistance with Mark Walker and Galen and a couple of other people, and Joe Ferrari, if I'm not mistaken, and Ralph Ferrari. and we had a blast!
Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. This week on our website, we are reviewing Pew Pew from Victory Point Games. It's a Nathan Hansen game. Basically, it's a board game that plays like an old two-dimensional video game. It's quite a bit of fun. It's solo. I really liked it, so check out the review. I think this is something you guys would want to pick up. Alright, and then as far as first look videos on YouTube, first one is Modern War Magazine #2 from November to December 2012. The game is Oil War Iran Strikes. As far as I can remember, this is my second copy of this game. First copy I had like 8 years ago. I believe I played it and it was alright, but anyhow, we go over the components and the sequence of play in the video, so check it out. And then from Compass Games, we have The God Kings, Warfare at the Dawn of Civilization from 1500 to 1250 BC. My friend let me borrow this, took a look at the components and the rule book. Looks really interesting, and it can support any 2 or more players. There's not many war games that can support more than 2 players, so that's kind of unique. And here's a game that has interesting components. This is Battles and Leaders. It's a game from Yaquinto Publications, a game of tactical level combat in the American Civil War from 1861 to 1865. Looks like it's a hex and chit war game that kind of plays like a miniatures game, and the terrain and the counters for the units kind of look like miniatures that you're looking down on. It's like pictures, troops and stuff. It's kind of cool. Check out the video and see for yourself. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon on our website and on our YouTube channel. And if you haven't heard, I'm selling used war games on my website, so I'll have a link right here for you to visit it. Have a good evening.
Dave was supposed to send me some pictures of the games he was selling, because I'm going to have a new segment. It's in the next video. And you know, talking about selling games, ARDWULF is selling games too. I'm going to have a segment, right? It's going to be a sales segment. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but if anybody out there wants to sell a game, you can have it advertised here. No problem. I don't take a cut, nothing. I do it out of the goodness of my heart. But what I need is a clear and good picture or video, because if your shot looks bad, it makes me look bad, and you don't want that. So there's going to be a sales segment. If you're selling more games, take a few pictures, leave your information where they can get that, where they can get those games on the picture or on the video. Don't make me do extra work. Don't make me do extra work. Again, there's going to be a sales segment. So Artie is selling some games. And what does he do? He just throws 2 pictures at me. That's it. So here are Artie's games. You know, he's got no time to write his name and how much he's selling them or whatever, get in touch with me, this and that. But he's got enough time to do this tomfoolery stuff and calling me all kinds of names except my real name. Yeah. Let's Play History Plays Strategic Command World War I and Strategic Command World War II, War in Europe, and Expeditions Vikings, and he plays Blood Bowl Liga, WBL, I don't know what that means, and Blood Bowl Liga again, WBL. That's strange. Jan Heinemann! Wayne Hansen plays in his segment Let's Play Hornet Leader, a game published by DVG. He does Fighter Sweep and Minor Bridge Mission, and also in his Recon segment Return to Iraq, Corregidor, 1945, a game by Revolution Games. Hex 2 Red 1 Alpha is back after a sabbatical of a long time, and he plays Battle Group Commander Episode 1, Richie Clash Mission. 2 C's is Richie, alright? And Stephen Dolges unboxes The Great Crisis of Frederick II, a game by Tetsuya Nakamura. Well, thank you, Vukachin, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You know what? This is a Kickstarter. I called it Kickstarter Intel. And thanks for getting in touch, because this is very interesting. Again, another World War I. It seems everybody's in World War I. So you know what? Before anything, let's play this incredible intro. Okay, I'll see you in 56 seconds. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
The music is phenomenal. Is that the piece of music you sent me?
Yes, that's the song. Yeah, that's the music.
So let me say that what you sent me, the guy on the violin, he's got to listen a little bit more. This was fantastic. But anyway.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so this is a movie. This is a game. It's going to be on Kickstarter.
Yes.
In autumn.
In autumn. We plan it in autumn, yeah.
So before I ask you, why did you choose this battle in World War I? What made you, how long have you been working on this, and what made you go to Kickstarter?
Well, the idea came up to me in 2013, when 100th anniversary of beginning of World War I was approaching.
Okay.
And I thought that it would be nice to have a game that covers Balkan Peninsula theater, because there aren't any that I know of. And especially because Serbia played a major part in that World War I theater. And the idea just started to get together in my head, and I started playing with my friend and my brothers. And eventually we came up with this concept. We tried to publish this game years ago, but there were really no interest in this particular game up until last year. Last year we tried it again. And this time we did self-publishing here in Serbia. So as you can see in that video, it's a Cyrillic version of the game. Yeah. It's called Local Market, and we did like 400 or 500 series units, and we sold everything here. But after that, we thought, why don't we try English version and improve the graphics, upgrade the rulebook and everything, and try hit Kickstarter and see what the world has to say about this game.
Okay, so you sold out of all your copies in your home?
Yeah, we have no copies left except this for promotional video and show up. Yeah.
So there's something personal about this game and why you did it, right?
Yes, there are like several things I would like to share now. First of all, I'm a history fan. My father was a history fan. My grandfather was a history fan. So I love everything that has to do with world history, and especially Serbian history. So we tried to honor our ancestors the way that we introduced their faces to units that Serbia has in this game. So
Now, this man over here, this man on the screen.
yeah, that is my mother's father, and his face is here on this
Right
Serbian infantry. Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
And the cavalry guy in Serbian army is our father's father, our grandfather from a father's side. And I didn't mention you this. He was a World War II pilot, and he fought with the Royal Air Force against Germans in North Africa and against the Japanese in the Philippines. So this is a World War One game, but still he fits in the team. So that's something personal that we put in the game, and I hope everybody will like it.
Of course, personally, when there's a story to the game, it even makes more of the narrative grow. Come out.
Yeah.
So okay, so tell us about this game. Do you have any components you can show us?
Yes, I have it here on my table. I'm not sure how to show it. Maybe I should just put on the camera.
Yeah, that looks good.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you see, this is a map, a board map, and there's a Kingdom of Serbia in 1940 and surrounding countries. So Austro-Hungarian Empire and Bulgarian Empire. German Empire was not in border with Serbia at that time, but there's also German units in the game. So as you can see, you have 4 types of units in 4 armies. There are cities on the map. I don't know if you can see it here, but each city has some value that brings money to the player, and he uses that money to purchase new units.
Okay.
So the object of the game is to occupy whole Serbia, every city on territory of Serbia. That's the object for Central Pal Wars. And the object of the game for player who controls Serbia is to defend and to liberate all cities in Serbia. So the game lasts for 14 rounds, and that's another part that we would like to show. This is okay, now here's the best. It's the calendar. There's 14 cards, as you can see. Each card represents 4 months period in the 1914-1918 conflict. So as you can see here, September, December 1914, all major events are described on this card that happened in World War I. Along with this small box, it's the effect that this card brings to the game. So by playing the game and applying this effect, you read and learn history of World War I. So that's something that might find people interesting, because you can learn history while having fun.
Yes.
So that's pretty much the basics. You have, of course, a player's card and rule book. One more thing that is interesting is this. As you can see, this is a mini map. It's a downscaled version of the game, of the board game, sorry. And at the beginning of the game, each player or each side will take one paper, and they will write the positioning of their armies on that paper without knowing the positioning of the other side. So when you're satisfied with your layout, you present the paper and then you place the units on the board. So every start of each game can be different. And that's something that we want to introduce, so-called fog of war in the board game. One more thing you have, as you can see here, okay, I will now turn the camera back. As you can see here, this is like general unit, and this general unit has some special abilities they bring to the units under his control, and those special abilities have been written on these general cards. You know, every general has a card with his picture, his name, his date of year of birth, year of death, and the main
modifier.
yeah. And one more thing I would like to show is this. As you can see, every unit has a front side and has a back side, which is different. So you watch from the back how it should be, how it should look like from the back, and from the front you look at as you're looking at the front of the unit. So every unit in the game has front and back side.
Now, did you want to make that a miniature game, or did you purposely do those cardboard carton miniature?
Well, my goal initially was to do plastic miniatures for the game, but here in Serbia it was like too expensive to do that. And now we're heading on Kickstarter. But before that, we figured out that this looks more beautiful because you have colors, you have different pictures, you have something that plastic miniatures can't bring you unless they're hand painted, and that's another story.
That's right. And I'm not interested in hand painting miniatures. I don't have the talent. And you know what? That looks way more colorful. I just like it a lot. Now,
thank you.
How long have you been working on this game?
About 2 years it took us to complete the rules and to play test it. And after that, it took us another year to get it on Serbian market. And now we started, let's say 3 months ago, we started working on English version and plans to go to Kickstarter.
So, I mean, oh my God, I just lost my question here. Why did you want to make a board game? Why a board game? Are you a war gamer at heart?
Yes, I love board games. I unfortunately don't have time to play the board games as much as I want to, but it's always been fascinating that you have small armies on your table and moving them around, conquering, defending, doing strategy, thinking about your opponent's next move, and doing the economy and everything that brings this era to life. You know.
What do we get with this game in terms of pieces? What's player's aid? The game board? How big is the game board?
The game board is I'm not sure in inches, but I will tell you in millimeters. So sure. It's 680 by 456 millimeters. Okay. That's the game board. And the miniatures are 40 millimeters high. This is a cavalry and a general. Infantry is like 33 millimeters high, and we have artillery, which is 30 millimeters high. So that's the scale dimensions of a game. So it's not too large. It fits on the table nicely, and everybody have that kind of table in their house.
So once you've reached your goal, and I hope you do, how long after the Kickstarter is over till the people get it at home?
Well, we're still doing the calculations, but I think that if we start at late September, so at late October, the Kickstarter will be finished. Then we go after Kickstarter campaign pledge manager. After that, we start production if we hit our goal, and that really depends how well we're going to do on Kickstarter, because we plan to start at low funding goal. And if we hit as many as 50 backers for this game, we will be able to produce this game in Serbia. and those components will be a little bit different than those ones that you get from Chinese manufacturers, but it will be still this graphic, and it will be still this material that you saw right here. If we do well on Kickstarter and have more backers, then we will be able to do a contract with some of the manufacturers in China, and then do the fulfillment company and everything. So I think that somewhere in February was like our plan to start distributing the game.
I think that's
Yeah, I think so. So it really depends, this whole pandemic situation is upon us all. So I hope everything will work out and that we will be able to fulfill our plan as originally planned.
Is there anything else that you want to say about your game?
Well, that's pretty much it. I enjoyed talking to you, and I'm glad that we met. And I loved your emails. They're pretty funny. You're a very funny guy. Yeah, they made me laugh so hard. I had to close the door because the kids were sleeping in the next room. So that's it. I will just let me just show you the box, how it's going to look like. So you one more thing, maybe you see here you have saying from different generals, different politicians from World War I era. So there's some interesting information you can find on the game box as well.
Okay, Vukash, good luck. And
Thank you.
we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch. Thank you very much.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Harold on Games has a new 5-pack. The first of the 5-packs are Brant Guillory, Armchair Dragoons. The second 5-pack, number 22, is Fred Serval, game designer. And number 23, the Mark Herman, he beats Mark Herman's butt. I saw him do it on his own game. James Pay. And also 5-pack, number 24, Riccardo the Professor Mazzini. And 5-pack number 25, my nemesis is the Player's Aid. Harold on Games, ladies and gentlemen. Another week, another show, and what a day it's been today. I just got my electricity back. So I had no internet, no nothing. I'm booting through this thing so I can put it up. And we didn't have any water for 2 days. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'm glad I could get the show up with all these obstacles in the way. And please support this channel. It really helps me a lot. And thank you. Subscribe, comment, talk to me. And don't forget about, if you're selling some of your games, take a pic or a good video. If the picture ain't good, I ain't putting it up. And I'll put it up. And a few more people will see it. And you'll sell it. And I get nothing. Don't worry about it. It's all good, man. Have a good weekend. And I hope you got water and electricity. Take care.